I speak 9 languages. The sentence came out small, quiet, but fell into silence like a lightning bolt, splitting the ground in two. No one breathed. The men in suits stopped with their pens in the air, as if time had become entangled in the cold air of the room. The girl, black, small in her blue school uniform, her red backpack almost bigger than her own body, didn't even know she had invaded forbidden territory. She just wanted to find her mother. She just wanted to deliver the lunch wrapped with care, but instead she crossed doors that not even adults dared to touch. And when she saw everyone looking, she didn't run, she didn't cry, she didn't fall silent. She answered. It wasn't a scream, it wasn't a challenge. It was finding, as if to say, I'm here and I know what I'm doing. The international investors, tense for hours, discussing contracts that none of them could properly translate, turned their faces away at the same time. Among them, the Arab millionaire laughed, not out of malice, but out of disbelief. A child, 9 languages, in a meeting worth billions. No one in their right mind would believe it, but she repeated calmly, as if handing over a key that opens doors never before touched. I can help if you want. The cleaning lady in the background, the mother, trembling hands, desperate face, almost collapsed. The mistake wasn't entering. The mistake was the world underestimating what fit inside such a small body. There, in that second, the impossible became suspect. The improbable took shape. The entire room, previously too vast, now seemed small before a child who carried within her something greater than everyone there. Knowledge, courage, presence. And nobody, absolutely nobody, was prepared to see the course of that meeting change because of a girl who only entered by mistake. Before we delve into this amazing story, tell me which city and state you're watching from. Leave a comment and I'll reply with gratitude. And while you're at it, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and like this video. We want to share more stories like this. Amara breathed deeply in the cold, vast hallway, as vast as a field, where no one walks barefoot. Her mother always said it was too big a territory for small steps, but the girl only wanted to deliver the hot lunch she carried wrapped in a blue cloth. The same blue as her impeccable school uniform, carefully ironed by the cleaning lady herself before leaving for work. It was lunchtime, employees rushing down the stairs, executives talking on Bluetooth, ties loosened, the smell of strong coffee spreading through the air as Amara walked distractedly, counting each door as if they were points on a map. 1, 2, 3. The 4th door was ajar, and the girl, curious as rain that seeps where no one expects it, pushed slowly. The soft sound of the hinge echoed like a sign of destination, opening a passage to a vast room with a high ceiling, a long table, glass walls, and tense men discussing red numbers on screens that seemed to scream failure. She entered. That alone would be enough to move structures. But the world loves irony, especially the kind that comes small, dressed in simple clothes, holding courage in childlike hands. The bright white light reflected strongly off the light-colored furniture. Every detail shone as if made to seem unattainable. There sat international investors, Arabs, Europeans, Asians, men who wielded the kind of power measured not by strength, but by signature. The billionaire presiding over the table with his neatly trimmed beard, impeccable suit, and eyes that calculated before feeling, was irritated. Contracts had been stalled for hours. Translators had failed. Negotiations had crumbled over minor semantic misunderstandings. The atmosphere was one of silent warfare. And right there, in the center of the tension no one knew how to resolve, a child entered who shouldn't have been there. She stopped in the middle of the doorway, not understanding why so many eyes were fixed on her. The red backpack weighed heavily on her back, red like a flame, red as a sign of danger or a turning point. No one knew which. Rosa, her mother, hurriedly cleaned the hallway, beads of sweat on her face, her cleaning apron tied like an old promise. When she realized her daughter wasn't beside her, her heart pounded harder than the polished floor gleaming beneath her feet. And then she saw the door open, the voices ceasing, the silence heavier than any cleaning cart. Her body froze. Her daughter was in the worst possible place. The room where even directors trembled before entering. Rosa approached slowly, like someone trying to rescue a butterfly without breaking its wings. But it was too late. All eyes were on her. Amara felt the world pause. The men's pupils narrowed as if in slow motion. One of the Arab investors muttered in a language he believed no one would understand, irritated by the interruption. Another exchanged quick glances with the billionaire, as if asking if they should expel her. But she, with a calmness not belonging to adults, simply observed the slides, the numbers, the papers on the table. She knew nothing about contracts. She knew about words. Words were doors, and she always found her way through them. She felt the weight of their stares, but she didn't shrink back. The silence deepened. And then a question escaped, light as a sigh, but with the force of a hammer breaking down a wall. "Do you need help?" No one believed what they heard. A director stifled a laugh. The older Arab raised an eyebrow. The billionaire crossed his hands, leaning forward, intrigued. A girl, offering a solution to something that experienced technicians, translators, and economists couldn't figure out? The scene seemed like a joke, but something in her posture, firm yet gentle, had its own charm. The Arab, laughing with almost childlike nonchalance, asked in his language if she even knew where she was. Amara looked him in the eye and answered in the same language. The entire table trembled in surprise. Without trembling, without hesitation, she pronounced each word clearly, and then she completed it in English, as if changing blocks without losing rhythm. Then she repeated it in Spanish fluently and returned to Portuguese with mundane naturalness. "I speak 9 languages." The phrase wasn't uttered as a boast. It was spoken like saying, "My name is Amara," or "It's raining outside." Simple. Direct, without artifice. The invisible gears of that room began to turn in another direction. The billionaire rested his elbows on the table, his eyes half closed like a hawk observing rare movement. The Arab who had laughed now stared at her with serious attention. The silence turned to immediate respect, heavy, almost uncomfortable. Rosa, standing in the back, struggled between pride and dread. If her daughter shone too brightly, they could take her away. If she didn't shine brightly enough, they could humiliate her. The cleaning lady knew there is no more dangerous place for a brilliant child than the center of power. A gray-haired man held out a document for testing. It was a contract with dense clauses in legal English. Amara held it carefully, read it quickly, absorbed it like someone drinking water when thirsty. Then she took a deep breath and explained what was written, not like a parrot repeating a sound, but like someone who understands meaning. Translating it into Arabic with precision, then into French as if it were her mother tongue. A director dropped his pen. 2 investors fiddled with their blazers, disconcerted. The little girl, who shouldn't even have been there, had just resolved the part that was blocking billions in negotiations. Rosa covered her mouth to hold back the tears that rose like a tide. Life had taught her to be invisible, but invisibility doesn't pass on to those born to be seen. The billionaire stood slowly, walking towards Amara. The sound of his footsteps was like a hammer on a glass floor. He crouched down to her level and asked in a low, deep, almost reverent voice, "How many languages did you say you speak?" 9, he repeated, without pride, only sincerity. "I'm learning the 10th." Right there, in that instant, while expensive clocks ticked away the time and ancient minds struggled to comprehend what they saw, Amara opened the door the world had tried to lock. The child who had entered by mistake was now the only person capable of saving an entire international contract, and no one, absolutely no one in that room, would dare disregard what she carried in her red backpack. Not books, not power, but the future. What came next? No one there was prepared to face it. Amara remained there, small before a vast world, yet larger than any expectation placed upon her. The billionaire, still kneeling before the child, seemed an impossible image. A man accustomed to having everything under control, finally facing something that money couldn't buy. The investors exchanged glances, trying to understand if it was chance, luck, or pure genius. Rosa, in the corner of the room, still without reaction, clung to her uniform, as if trying to hold on to destiny with her fingers. But nothing there was under human control anymore. Something greater had been triggered the instant the girl spoke. I speak 9 languages. It was as if the walls, lights and numbers on the screens were witnessing the birth of a new axis. Amara had no idea of the gravity of what she had done, and perhaps that's why the effect was so devastating. Innocence makes the impossible seem natural, and adults forget how that works. The investors quickly reopened the files. One of them, Japanese, serious, silent, decided to test the waters. He handed over another document with complex expressions, enormous figures, international interest rates, structural risks. Amara read it, biting the corner of her lip as if organizing ideas in a jigsaw puzzle. Then she raised her head and spoke, first in Japanese with perfect intonation, then in legal English, then in clear Portuguese, explaining lines that even the economists hadn't understood. A small clause hid an unfair advantage for the foreign fund, and nobody, absolutely nobody, had noticed, nobody but her. The billionaire nodded silently, an assent that wasn't just approval, it was recognition. It was as if I saw gold where everyone else only saw dust. Rosa finally took a step, but froze when she saw the CEO extend his hand to Amara, inviting her to sit beside him at the table. An enormous chair for someone so small. She trembled. Sitting there meant bridging centuries of distance between the cleaner and the one in charge. But the girl, with the calm of someone never taught to fear what she deserves, climbed onto the seat. Her short legs swung without touching the floor. While directors in suits discussed millions, she held the table with both hands, like someone holding a materialized dream. "Could you read the entire proposal?" the billionaire asked. Amara nodded simply and began. The room listened attentively as the child simultaneously translated 3 languages and explained with mathematical reasoning what no businessman had solved since dawn. The Arab, who had previously laughed, now leaned forward, his eyes shining like a man who finds a diamond in the ground. The directors, previously tense, now frantically took notes. The atmosphere that had been war had become a classroom, and the unexpected teacher was 8 years old and had a red backpack. Rosa wept silently. Tears of fear, pride, bewilderment, a mixture only a mother with a weary heart understands. She had worked invisibly for years, cleaning hallways where no one said thank you. But now her daughter was the center, the light, the event. It was as if life were saying, "I haven't forgotten about you." The cleaning lady took a step back, not out of shame, but out of reverence, like someone seeing flowers blooming in a place of cement. 40 minutes later, with clauses corrected and terms adjusted, the trilingual contract was finally finalized. The numbers on the screens turned green, rising as if breathing a sigh of relief. It was the kind of turning point that would define the future of the entire corporation. The billionaire, still standing, extended his hand to the investors, who shook it with renewed respect. But before they ended the meeting, it was Amara who sealed the deal. She handed over the revised document, smiling simply, unaware that this gesture would change everything. The CEO took a deep breath, looked at the girl with admiration, the same admiration he had never shown to any executive with a foreign degree. "Amara," he said, "you saved the company today." The entire room fell silent, not a tense silence, but a sacred one. The girl lowered her eyes shyly, perhaps thinking they were exaggerating. Rosa pressed her hands against her chest. It was impossible to contain the glow that formed there. The billionaire then stood up and walked over to the cleaning lady. She remained motionless, as if afraid of losing her footing. "Mrs. Rosa." His voice was different, less impenetrable. "Your work has always been essential, but today I discovered that your daughter is the most valuable asset that has ever passed through this company." Rosa tried to answer, but her voice failed her. She cried, without hiding, without apologizing. For the first time, someone saw. For the first time, they saw more than just the uniform. The CEO announced in front of everyone, "The company will offer Amara a full scholarship to one of the best schools in the country. And when she grows up, if she wants, she'll have a place here, not as the cleaning lady's daughter, but as a mind that moves the world." The Arab man stood up, moved, and greeted the girl with a respectful gesture. A European asked to shake her hand. Everyone wanted to look at her once more, not with pity but with fascination. The girl simply smiled slightly and said softly, as if delivering the ending of a beautiful book, "I just wanted to find my mother." And at that moment, the entire company understood. Sometimes the wrong door is the right door. Rosa hugged her daughter tightly. It didn't matter if the ground shone or if walls still stood outside. They had broken through one. And no one, absolutely no one, would put Amara behind a closed door again. As they left the room, employees murmured in admiration. The hallway seemed shorter, the world wider. The red backpack swung on her back like a flag of the future. Rosa walked with a new posture, not because the world had changed, but because she now knew the world could be reached. And as the girl looked back one last time, she saw the billionaire watching, not with the gaze of an owner, but of a learner. A man who had discovered that power doesn't only reside at the top. Sometimes it's born in unseen corridors. And so that day ended, not with boisterous applause, but with the gentle certainty that the lines of destiny had been rewritten by small hands. And when doors open again, perhaps it will not be an accident. Perhaps it will be the world finally, learning to listen to those who always knew how to speak. And she spoke in 9 languages. And now in one more. The language is impossible to ignore. And if this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone you love. Click now to share it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of the upcoming stories we're preparing with great care for you.